Hi, this is Dawn, and today I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to create this tri-fold card that's part of our Sawyer Digital Art collection. I've already uploaded the images to Cricut, and now I have a new document here, and I have added the image to my canvas. And if I go ahead and say make it right now, I want to show you a couple things that happen. So there's no black paper on there, but yet we got this black mat showing up, and it's a couple of cut lines that were not attached to the items. And then there's also this blue one. So let me go in and show you what that's all about. The first thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and ungroup it. When you bring in SVGs, sometimes the system doesn't know what's a score line and what's a cut line. So to get to where the cut lines and score lines are, I'm going to go ahead and first remove these three pieces right here. So I'm going to click, I need to ungroup again. It was grouped twice. So now I'm going to click on that one. I'm holding the shift and clicking the second one, and still holding the shift, I'm clicking the third one. So now I got all three of those pieces to come off together. Now while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and group these items, and then I'm going to duplicate it. And what I'm doing is making this so I can cut it a couple of different ways. So I can cut it the way it was designed with three different colors of cardstock right there, or patterned paper. But what if I want it to just be one piece? Well, if I weld it right now, I now have the option to just cut one piece or the three pieces as it was designed. And then we also have this piece down here on the bottom. Now the cut line is not attached to this. So when we go to cut it, that's one of the reasons we got some extra mats. So I'm going to go ahead and say attach. And now the cut and the piece are kept together, so they'll stay together. Now here's the card base, and we know that we want to score this card, not cut it. So see, when I click on this line, it says it's a basic cut, but we want it to be a score line. So I'm going to click score, and then I'll repeat that on this other line. And then we do need to attach everything so that the score lines and this cut line all stay on this pink piece of paper. So if I start with my mouse outside of the image and I click and I drag so that I'm touching all of those images, it doesn't have to hold them all, just at least touch all of them. Now they're all selected, and I can click attach. And now when I go to make it, you'll see those are the small images, but here's the large card, and it's got the score lines and the cut line on there. And then if we check this, the cut line is right on top of that. So that's exactly what we wanted there. Now, right now, this image is 5.5 inches wide by a little over 10 inches. When it's all folded up, it ends up being about the same size as a standard size card. But what if you want smaller, like the samples I'm going to share with you? I'll show you how I did that. So I'm just going to drag these pieces back on top. They kind of went to the back, so I'll tell it to send to the front. So it's on top of the pink. Make sure it's completely on the pink and it's not sticking out anywhere. And we'll repeat that here. Whoops. We'll try doing it this way. I was going to move them all and bring them all to the front, but let's just try sending the pink one all the way to the back. There we go. Now we want to make sure they're completely on there, that there's nothing sticking out over the edges, and they're good. So now if I click and drag so they have all of those images selected, it still says it's 5.5 inches. So let's say I want it to be 4 inches wide. I'll change the width to 4 inches, and then it automatically changes the height proportionately. So now, because all the pieces were together, they were resized together and they will still fit. And at this point, you can just decide whether you want the solid piece or the three pieces. I'm going to do the solid piece. So I'm going to hide this one, and I can say make it. And I have two mats with all my pieces on it. So that's going to work perfect for me. Now I'll take you and show you how to assemble these cards. Okay, now we're back from the Cricut. I've cut out the pieces, and I just need to glue them to assemble it. So I've got the top piece up here. I like using the liquid glue because it gives me a little wiggle room when I put it down. I can kind of shift it to make sure I get it aligned properly. And that's really important when you get to this other edge because we need to make sure that these cuts align together. So I'm going to put some glue on this. And it actually, I thought it was going to be hard to align, but it's actually pretty easy. So I just stick it on here. And then I just found if I stick my finger through there and just make sure I've got it all aligned, it works perfectly. Now you'll just fold up your card. So I'm going to use my bone folder here to fold it. And you've got a cute little trifold. And then here's another one I made. Oops, I just set this in glue. Messy craft area. So then now when you open it, I put a little sampling of our little flowers in there and attached it with washi tape. So I hope that you like this tip and have fun making these trifold cards. I'd love to see what you come up with.